Today, we've got a fantastic story for you called The Boy Who Climbed Hills. It's from a book called Happy Path, and honestly, it's all about how a habit that looked kind of, well, crazy led to one of the greatest human achievements of all time.
So picture this. You've got these two friends, John and Bill, and they're talking about their buddy Ed, and they come to one simple conclusion: that Ed sure is crazy. They just couldn't make sense of what he was doing every day.
And here's why they thought he was so strange. While everyone else would, take the easy way home, the flat path, Ed did the exact opposite. He would literally go out of his way just to find a hill to walk over. And you gotta ask, right? It just goes against all logic. Why would you deliberately make your life harder? Why choose the tough route every single day when there's an easier one right there? What was going on in his head?
Well, here's the big reveal. Ed wasn't just taking a weird walk home. He was training. Every single one of those little hills was practice. See, his crazy habit was all part of his secret plan to conquer the biggest hill on the entire planet.
And wow, did that training pay off? Because the boy everyone called Crazy Ed grew up to be none other than Sir Edmund Hillary. And in May of 1953, he was the very first person to stand on top of Mount Everest. It all started with those small daily climbs. His discipline changed history.
And that's really the core of it, isn't it? He didn't just have some vague dream. He set the most ambitious, the highest goal he could possibly think of. But the crucial part is, he was true to it. He lined up his small, everyday actions with that massive goal, and it took him, quite literally, to the top of the world.
Okay, so this principle isn't just for mountain climbers. I mean, not all summits are made of rock and ice, right? Some are intellectual. And that brings us to a whole different story, this time about a scholar named Leonard who is aiming for a different kind of peak.
Look at this contrast in mindset. It's fascinating. You had his classmates saying, I'll shoot for a few B's, maybe a C. Good enough. But Leonard, his standard was completely different. His goal was simple and absolute. A's. Only A's, nothing less. And what happened when he aimed that high? Well, his report cards were, as the book says, monotonously the same. Just a solid wall of A's. Think about it. For 10 years of school, he only slipped up once, getting a single B. By aiming for the absolute highest goal, his results were just incredibly consistent.
So we've seen a physical summit and an intellectual one. Now let's take this idea even further. Let's look at how a high goal can become a singular purpose for your entire life. And for that, we turn to the Apostle Paul.
I mean, just listen to that phrase. This one thing I do. It's so powerful. It's not these 5 things I'm juggling or these dozen projects I have going. No, it's an incredible laser-like focus on one single driving mission.
So what was that one thing? It wasn't about money or becoming famous. His goal was spiritual. He was, in his own words, pressing toward the goal for the prize to which God through Christ Jesus calls us upward. That was his Everest. That was the summit that his whole life pointed toward.
And the context here is just everything. He wasn't writing this from a comfortable home. He was in a cold, dark dungeon, literally days away from being executed. And yet, even then, his focus was unshakable. He knew, he was certain that he had stayed true to his mission.
And this is his final declaration. What a triumphant way to finish. It's a statement of a life completely fulfilled. Because he was true to that one high goal, he could face the very end with total confidence, knowing he'd run the race and reached his summit.
So, after hearing these powerful stories, it really makes you think, doesn't it? The question naturally comes back to us. What is your summit?
We've looked at 3 different kinds of summits, right? You've got the physical, like Hillary climbing Mount Everest, the intellectual, like Leonard going for academic perfection, and the spiritual, like Paul's life-defining purpose. Your own summit could be one of these, or maybe it's something totally different.
And the material we're looking at suggests that maybe, just maybe, the highest goal of all is about character. This quote from Ellen White points to what the world needs most, not more money or talent, but people with an integrity that just cannot be shaken.
And what does that look like? It means being honest, deep down in your soul. It's having a conscience that's as reliable as a compass needle pointing north. And it's having the guts to stand for what's right, no matter what, even if it feels like the world is collapsing around you. The book suggests that this might be the ultimate summit to aim for.
So the lesson here seems pretty clear. Whether it's a boy climbing little hills to prepare for Everest, a student who will only accept A's, or an apostle who can face death with absolute conviction, a life really is defined by its highest aim.
So the question for all of us is, what's your summit? What goal have you set for yourself?